Well, we read the script like 20 minutes ago, shot it in 5 minutes, and I mean, it was really fast, and it was already relevant. It's been relevant since the Panama Papers emerged.
Yeah,
so, and it's funny and weird and hot, you know, good.
Yeah, not only just
perfect.
Perfect answer. The shape, the form in which it was going to be told, it was unusual, it was different, it was just exploring in new territories. We just played characters that we never played before, which basically we are relating to the camera, and as I said before, you know, kind of Bertolt Brecht breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience. And so there was a number of things, and of course, in my particular case, just to work with these two people is
yeah, we were all very well. You worked with Soderbergh before.
Yes, I did.
Had you?
Never.
No,
I'd always wanted to.
Yeah, me too. So it was a combination of being able to work with these great actors, Steven, on a piece of material by those guys back then.
But Jake Bernstein, who was writing the book Secrecy World, which was he's one of the journalists involved with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists that broke the Panama Papers. He was writing his book, Secrecy World, at the same, and Scott was writing the screenplay at the same time. So as things were discovered, as they uncovered this 11 million document trove of stuff, they were working together on the script. So it was very up to the moment and a very live process.
I had seen a movie called Wild Tales by Damien Zifrin, and Steven and I both really loved that movie. And when I saw these incredible stories of greed and corruption that sort of illuminate how this offshore system worked, Steven and I started talking about it, and I said I kind of want to do that and marry it to sort of a confessional for Mossack and Fonseca. And Steven and I have often talked about how comedy seems to open people up, and that was kind of the recipe.
The idea of my book was to use the Panama Papers to tell the story of the evolution of this system, this financial system through which trillions of dollars of illicit money flows all the time. And so what Scott did was he used the characters of these two guys, Ramon Fonseca and Jürgen Mossack, played by Antonio and Gary, as sort of the guides, if you will, to this world, and it was wonderful.
Also, I think this world of international banking and offshoring is built to be inscrutable, and I think frequently when we hear these stories, we look at at that end of the spectrum. But I wanted to turn the telescope around and find how that bounces off a human being, how that bounces off every one of us, how, if you're wondering why your schools aren't better, your roads aren't better, why there isn't better health care in the world, all of these things, it's because of this system. It's not that we don't have enough money, it's that not everyone is paying their fair share.
I mean, you can lament that these systems work and how people utilize loopholes that they find. Clever people will always work around and try to find a way not to do their part. And they will be able to exploit a system that poorer, less educated people will not be able to, will just suffer. But yeah, everybody gets a vote, and everybody can move a political needle, move the needle towards justice if we just demand it.
How do you guys feel about Netflix? Is it important for movies to be theatrical? Do you think that it's okay for a movie to go straight to streaming? I know this will have a theatrical release and then will go into streaming, but how do you feel about the debate?
It's the times. It's just gonna, I like the horse and buggy.
I can tell you that Netflix is bringing a lot of jobs. For example, the operations of Netflix in Spain and in many other different countries, and the fact that they are shooting TV shows and movies in our original language is very interesting. So in that aspect is good. Now, I understand the people that still hold a certain romanticism about movies being shown in a big screen in a dark place where you see movies with people that you don't know.
And
That ritual
celluloid.
is still very beautiful, you know. So it's just to find your place.
So it becomes event oriented. So if you want to see it on the big screen, you want to be first. A lot of people that want to be first and have their opinions out there. And so, you know, they'll run out and do it. And then everybody else who has to have a babysitter will wait. And see it on, you know, TV.
I think for anybody who's a storyteller who has chosen this medium, obviously you hope that people will come and have a communal experience of a story, especially a story like this one, because it affects all of us. And so, you know, Steven and I hope that people will see it that way, but I think it's foolishly naive at this point not to recognize that the technology is such, and that the way that movies are distributed in the world right now, you know, it's not going to get to everybody. And so, you know, we didn't develop this movie at Netflix. You know, we were able to get them engaged because this incredible group of actors said yes. So I'm thrilled that, you know, we can get it out that way. But I think my hope and Steven's is that, you know, it's a pretty incredible looking film that Steven, you know, shot, and we want people to see it in a theater.
Yeah, it's also that if it were released in theaters, you know, several, I don't know, 1,000 people in Manhattan and Boston and Los Angeles who gravitate to this kind of material would see it. Netflix is in the 133 million households globally. So it'll reach in places where it would not have normally been found, and that's great, because it really is for the audience that doesn't know about this story.